Hey, you!
Yeah, you! You're finally awake. Here, have something to eat. You must be starving. I found you washed up on the beach. Very, very unlucky. No, you are the unlucky one. The lucky ones all went down with the ship. This island isn't for the faint of heart. The island itself drives people mad. I've only been here a few weeks, and I can already feel my sanity slipping. The things I've seen. The things I've done. I'm not the man I once was. This island isn't deserted, you see. Not only do you have to contend with the other survivors who washed up here, there are natives living on this mad island. They are who you should truly fear. If you're lucky, they will just kill you and cannibalize your remains. If you're unlucky, you will be turned into a breeding mare and forced to give birth to their savage children. Now that you're stranded here, I would advise you not to trust anyone living on this mad island. Oh, look at me talking away. You must be exhausted. You should sleep now. I will show you how to survive here tomorrow, once you have recovered your strength. Ah, you're already awake. That is a shame. You probably don't understand what's going on. And that's okay. Looks like the sleeping herbs I put in your stew weren't as potent as I thought. Gonna have to make a mental note to increase the dosage next time. Like I said, you can't trust anyone living on this mad island. Mad Island. A game that walks a line so fine, I'm honestly surprised it's allowed on Steam. It's the only game I've ever played that made me go, maybe my Skyrim mod list isn't so bad.
A naughty female warrior who travels alone will end up a cum dump for a troll, probably.
Okay, for me to explain this game, we have to talk about something first. Have you ever heard of Ero Guro? It's an artistic genre that puts its focus on eroticism, sexual corruption, and decadence. It's used for something that is at the same time both erotic and grotesque. An art style we can thank our good friends and military allies, the Japanese, for. It took us Gaijin 2 atomic bombs to stop the Japanese from committing war crimes. But the spirit of Nippon will never truly die. Hako Ichiu, my Nipponese brothers in Christ. But never, ever let Twitter/X find out about this. Because people who would call a goated masterpiece like Berserk gore porn would lose their collective fucking minds if they ever stumbled across real Ero Guro manga. Because even I go, holy shit, that was pretty fucked up. I wonder if it gets even worse. Let's read the next chapter. And I'm completely dead inside. Even worse if they found the doujins. If someone who thought Berserk was gore porn stumbled across manga like Trash or DeadTube, they might actually opt out of living right there and then. So let me properly introduce you to Mad Island, an Ero Guro survival hentai game out of Japan that it's probably a very, very dumb idea to make a video about. But I'ma do it anyway. So let's start with the most important aspect of any hentai game. There's no need to be shy. We all know what it is. According to my YouTube analytics, we're all adults here. It's that deep-seated animalistic urge lodged way down in our simian brains that we can never escape. That's right, we're talking about the main reason anyone would look at hentai: the plot. The scene opens on 5 young adult friends hanging out on a boat. You see, Takumi invited his old school friends to celebrate the fact he just sniped, then pump and dumped Huck to a coin, and now he's a crypto bro millionaire. He's a greasy, overweight pervert who doesn't understand the meaning of no means no. so he's just your standard crypto bro. Reika is a Japanese garu stereotype. She's loud, rude, very opinionated, and dresses like a whore. Keigo is a dumb, chiseled, and sexy himbo. He's just like me, for real for real. Also, Reika's boyfriend. But as long as I play my cards right, that won't be the case for long. Nami is the nerdy adult, lowly character. But as of this video, she doesn't matter. Cause other than the intro cutscene, she's not in the game yet. It's still in early access. Yona is a bit more of a blank slate. She's one of the two player characters. After Takumi drunkenly hip thrusts his way to falling off the boat, it crashes into a rock and you wake up on the shore of a beach. This is where Yona meets the second player character, Man. Yep, his name is simply Man. Man's the same as Yona, a blank slate. Once the two have met, you can switch between them at any time and start your survival journey on this mad island. This game gives you the freedom to do some absolutely psychotic shit to the NPCs. But don't feel too bad. If the NPCs catch you, they will do the same thing to you as well. So, let your peerless daddy give you the rundown on how he survived this mad island. First up, turn on auto run, then pick the character you want to play first. My brain likes things to be even, so I normally swap characters every 10 levels to keep them in range of each other. I recommend starting as Yona. Mad Island follows the basic rules for starting that every other survival game does. Pick up sticks, stones, and fiber, and make an axe, a pickaxe, and a torch. Mine any iron nodes you see, and grab any berry bushes you come across. Not only do berries cover your caloric intake, they will also be your main source of water for quite some time. Get 20 wood and make a wooden workbench. Turn 5 fiber into fabric and make a wooden sword. Now, we should talk about status and skill points. You want to be using these as soon as you get them. Status points can be put into health, strength, or speed. Put your first 10 points into strength. After that, I just distribute them evenly. Is this the most efficient way to do it? I honestly have no idea. This is one of those cases where my brain's need for numbers to be even outweighs its need to be as efficient as possible. So, I never looked it up. Skill points are talents, shared between your characters. We go 1 point in self-healing, 2 points in carry, 1 point in leader, max harvest with 5 points, 5 points in smash, 3 more points in carry, max leader with 4 more points, then throw a few points into self-healing whenever you feel the need. After that, just do whatever you like. But by the time you're done with what I said, you should be pretty far into the game. Now we run west. If you see any animals, approach them from behind, then pay respects to Mother Nature by pressing F, and kill them with a power attack. If they see you, they will run. You need their leather to make fast travel flags. Once you hit the native village, put down a fast travel flag and go northwest to find the Sasquatch in the forest biome. Then put down another fast travel flag there. At this point, you have 2 options. Aggro it and pull it to the village. Kill it there while it AoE kills all the natives for extra loot. Or save the game and see what happens if Yona is defeated by it. I know you're curious, you little fucking degenerate you. Combat in Mad Island breaks down to this. Bait out an NPC's attack by getting close. Move out the way, then counterattack. At no point in the game is it challenging. Once you figure it out, which won't take long, you can easily fight way higher level things at a low level with shit weapons. It's just that easy. But let's be real, no one's playing this game for the combat system. Once the Sasquatch is dead, loot it and get a fruit that gives 2000 XP. Eat it, loot everything in the village, and eat any more XP fruit you find until you hit level 9 or 10. Teleport back to base, cook up the raw meat you got off the animals you killed, make a new wooden sword, make sure you have a second pickaxe, empty your inventory other than the things you need, and swap characters. Teleport back to the flag you placed right near the Sasquatch, save the game, and reload it. Reloading the game respawns enemies, and removes corpses. This should be abused to its fullest extent. The game was made this way, so it would be rude not to exploit it. Same thing, kill the Sasquatch, loot the village, level up to around 9 or 10, But this time, don't go back to base, and run north of the village. Find the spider cave, and pop another fast travel flag down. Go in, clear out the cave, and mine all the iron ore and stone nodes you find there. Don't go through the ominous green wall yet. Fast travel back to base, make a furnace, then an iron workbench. In the iron workbench, make an iron sword. You're welcome to make a shield, but I never bothered. There's no need to block when you can just simply walk out of the way. Make sure you're playing Yona. Run north, put down a fast travel flag in front of the boss room, save, then go in and lose. I know you want to see what happens if you do. Reload, kill the boss, and you have unlocked both the second area and the meat workbench. Now it's time to pack up and move to a safer location. Obviously, you can make a base wherever you want. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your dad. Oh wait, I am. Silly me. Pop down a fast travel flag at your base on the beach. Then make a base flag at the iron workbench and head northeast until you find a river. Cross it, go north up the path until you hit this cave entrance. It's full of iron ore. Pop down a new base flag and start teleporting between the beach and your new base location, bringing over all of your stuff. For the next step, we need to get wood. A lot of wood. Make an iron axe. If you don't have enough iron, go get more from the cave behind your new base. Fast travel to the forest where the Sasquatch is. Kill it to assert dominance over the local wildlife, then proceed in your lumberjacking activities. You're gonna need a decent amount. So watch a YouTube video on your side screen and keep going until you have reduced the durability of your axe all the way down to just about breaking. Then use the wood you gathered to make roughly 52 wooden walls and 52 wooden spikes. Then make a nice wall in front of your base. This setup makes your base very easy to defend until way later in the game. Don't worry, the game's gonna get a lot less grindy when we start, what's the best way to put this? Befriending the locals? Nah, that's not right. Employing the locals. Not quite right either. Ah, I've got it. The game's gonna get a lot less grindy when we start enslaving the local population. So it's time to channel your inner African warlord. And start enslaving your neighbors. Be sure to have an iron club, then make one iron cage and one iron fence. Pop those bad boys down and find your first victim. The best human hunting grounds for now are just on the other side of the river. I always switch to man when I commence slavery activities. Because a Japanese incel neat kidnapping and enslaving cute anime girls is so much more plausible than a cutie college-age Japanese girl with them tig old biddies committing such a heinous crime. The game's creators even gave man a special move called grapple, which can be used to knock out female natives easier. Now.
Listen, you know, I dislike sexual assault as much as the next guy. That's some bad stuff. Rape, boo, don't like it. But
when a game wants you to choose between the two options of rape and rape discreetly, you know you're in for a wild ride. You have probably only skilled carry up to 2 at this point, so pop a fast travel flag down near the village, knock out your first victim, teleport back to base, pop them in the cage, and repeat until 3 of the 4 slots are filled with your new, soon-to-be, anime girl serfs. Then fast travel to the Sasquatch and bash his head in with your iron club. We need a strong slave to guard the base. You might think this wouldn't work in real life, but you don't understand Stockholm Syndrome. Before your captives learn to love you, they must learn to fear you. Now that we've given them the stick, it's time for the carrot. Welcome to Peerless Daddy's Mad Island Cooking Show Special. Are you sick of having to feed your human pets expensive meat? Are you struggling to get your Sasquatch to eat? Well, don't change the channel. You don't want to miss these tricks and tips to getting the most out of your new slaves. Also, make sure to stick around till the end of the program to see my hottest new recipes made from all natural human ingredients. The best way to get your slaves to accept you as their master is to feed them grilled meat. Each time they eat a piece, they will love you 7% more. So it takes 15 grilled meat for them to throw away their pride as humans and live in a life of servitude to you. But at the end of the day, they are slaves and don't deserve such good quality food. You don't want them getting ahead of themselves by letting them eat food similar to you. So we need to look at history to find an easy to gather and low cost food source for them to consume. Just like the English did to the Irish, we are gonna feed them nothing but potatoes. Then once they are working for us, we will force them to grow the potatoes themselves. It's 20 potatoes per slave. Very cost effective. Your Sasquatch pet's favorite food might be deer and pigs, but that's incredibly indulgent, as they will also eat human corpses. Now, let me show you how to prepare both a native male and native female for your Sasquatch's consumption. The Sasquatch only needs to eat the torso, so make sure to remove the head first, then dismember the rest of the corpse, arms first, then legs. If you have unlocked the men's workbench, which is a penis table, make sure you have made a knife and cut off the male native's genitals and then the female native's breast tissue. The Sasquatch doesn't need to eat those parts, and I do so hate to be wasteful. Now your human torso is ready to be placed in the iron fence with the Sasquatch. It will take 10 of these to tame him, but it's a great use for the corpses of the natives who accidentally killed themselves on the spike traps outside your base. Okay, it's time for my own personal recipes. Now, what's the biggest problem with cannibalism, you might ask? Well, that's easy. It's the morale loss that comes from knowing you have tasted the forbidden meat of another human being. Not everyone is mentally strong enough to join in on one of Marina Abramovich's spirit cooking parties. But me, I've never missed a single one. So, let me show you my favorite cannibalistic recipes that won't have you missing a single point of your morality. As these are some of my advanced recipes, you have to make sure you have an axe, knife, and flesh collector on you at all times. Now, we have to collect a lot of ingredients, so make sure your inventory is empty and you bring a companion with a large amount of inventory space. I would recommend the giant mummy. Find a village full of young, healthy humans, then proceed to slaughter them all for their sweet meat. Arrange them nicely and spaced out so they are easy to access. Now comes the hard work. Go between each one and completely dismember their bodies one by one. Make sure you collect their heads and arms, as well as the female native's breasts. Everything else can be left on the floor. Your inventory will fill up very quickly, and that's why you brought a companion to witness your horrific actions. Once you've collected all the body parts you need, place down the flesh collector and activate it. Then head home. Some people might call what I've just done crimes against humanity, but to me, it's just going to get groceries. Do not judge me. You do not know my story. As Sun Tzu once said in his timeless classic, The Art of the Deal, it's a skill issue. Now to prepare the ingredients, go to the meat workbench and load in all the arms and heads and get some fingers and eyeballs. Head over to the bazaar cooking table and give your mans a moment to cook. And there we go. Bone apple tea. For appetizers, we will be having finger skewers. The fingers give it a nice crunchy taste, while the eyeballs give it a juicy pop that just explodes in your mouth. We will be washing this down with a refreshing glass of eyeball juice. The first course will be grilled boobs, with a side of fingers and eyeballs, while the main course will be Peerless Daddy's world famous boob burger. I used minced human flesh for the burger patty and placed it down between two halves of a breast. With these recipes under your belt, now you too can eat like a Hollywood elite. These recipes are all 100% morality free. This video is starting to go overtime, so let's do a rapid fire round of fucked up shit I did while playing Mad Island. Natives raided my base and stole one of my slaves, so I broke into the village of the natives responsible, and while reclaiming my personal property, I knocked out every single villager, carted them back to my base, and proceeded to hang them on meat hooks as a warning to everyone else on the island. You better fucking not touch my stuff. I 100% consensually, don't worry about it, impregnated a bunch of my slave women in hopes they would have a miscarriage, because that's the only way to get the life orb item and I needed it to make the flesh collector for this video. So that one's on you guys. I thought I should give my male slaves some incentive to work hard. So I went to a native tribe, killed their men, kidnapped their women, and installed them as public use toilets. You ever seen Dropout? It's Mudahar's favorite hentai.
It was Dropout. That was the name, Dropout. Like, if you're not a smart chick, they turn you into like a like a public urinal where like you just get fucked on a daily. Like you're just getting smashed. And they all get their own public like urinal, like chick, or like their own like fuck slave. Like it's like you're just seeing like fucking just the absolute destruction of a human being. Like the animation was good. I had to watch it.
I basically did a Dropout. Then I took it a step further by basically doing the same thing, but this time I removed their limbs for ease of use. Seeing as I had actively been collecting body parts for a while, I created a bunch of Frankensteinian monster androids with huge tits and swords for arms, just because I could. I've played this game for over 60 hours at this point, and I still feel that I have barely scratched the surface of the weird shit you can do in Mad Island. I rate this game...
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
Over! The Steam reviews speak for themselves. When you buy this game, you will immediately be set to a high priority individual on whatever watch lists you're already on. It's utterly psychotic, but when I stumbled across it, I needed to know for myself how and why this game has 94% positive reviews on Steam. If you want to pick up a copy of this game, it's $29.50 AUD on Steam, or $19.99 USD in a real country's money. Cheap CD key websites fear this game and won't even list copies on their stores. Absolute fucking cowards. There is a fully uncensored version of this video, completely free, on Patreon, at /PeerlessDaddy. Last minute edit before posting. One of you cunts is fucking unwell. So there I am, right, taking a screenshot of my Patreon for this video. And what do I see? Someone is paying me $2 a month on Patreon. Very unexpected. Like I only have a single membership tier for the low price of $1,500,000 USD a month. With the message, I didn't want to bother setting this up yet, but Lou wants to look at horse penis. Honestly, the fact that you think my shitpost videos are worth paying money for is very touching. And as my first and only Patreon subscriber, we are gonna have to kiss Kada. There's nothing I can do about it. Those are the rules. For real but, I have now gone and set up the Patreon page with a single tier, cash money, for $2. For now, all proceeds will go to buying a real copy of DaVinci Resolve. After that, who knows? I am terrible with financial decisions. At some point, I will be like every other YouTuber and make a Discord for Patreon subs. There you guys can vote on what game I should make a video on next. Post memes and shit, which I might end up using in my videos. So basically, you can pay me to allow you, out of the goodness of my heart, to let you work for me for free. Hey you! Yeah, you! Shh! Come over here. Keep quiet. Seeing as you made it all the way to the end of the video, I want to share a secret with you. Google the Mad Island Creators website and download DLC_00. It's not really DLC. It's the stuff they had to cut from the game to be allowed on Steam. Have fun!